Hi, this is Madhu Bhat. One of the most frequently asked question is whether cloud is as secure as company owned data center. Let's discuss this topic today. According to one of the Deloitte reports, cloud ranks number 1 amongst the emerging technologies for the past 3 consecutive years. COVID-19 effect pushed the digitization wave further, making cloud even more prominent. With this, even the highly regulated industries such as financial services and pharmaceuticals are now keen on cloud adoption. The key questions that we keep hearing are: 1. Is cloud as secure as our on premise data centers? Can we trust a third party in storing sensitive data? Thirdly, how do we ensure compliance with regulations such as GDPR? To answer these questions, we need to look at some of the key factors. Firstly, is migration to cloud carefully crafted? When you are migrating from on-premise data center to a cloud service, re-architecting your IT setup is pretty much must have. If you have done a lift and shift cloud migration, then the possibility that your on-premise data center would have been more secure than cloud. Not to say that you can't do lift and shift, it wholly depends on your use case. Secondly, cloud vendor reputation. Although it is hard to inspect a public cloud vendor physically, there are third party attestations available, especially on non disclosure agreements for assessment ahead of vendor selection. Organizations need to perform due diligence on vendor sustainability from financial, technical, and regulatory aspects to ensure security aspects are fully covered. Also, need to look at whether the selected vendor has the major regulations covered. What do you want to store in cloud? Data classification should be effectively used to ensure whether certain types of data can leave your premises, whether it is within the country or outside, to limit risk exposure within an acceptable tolerance. For example, business services offered in certain countries require you to store data within the country borders. In this case, you might have to look for in country hosting or set up your own in country data center. The answer to question whether cloud setup is secure or on-premise data center is a better choice really depends on business requirements as well as design aspects. While this goes back to broader strategy aligned to cover overall corporate strategy, multiple considerations need to be taken into account to arrive at the decision. For example, cloud could be the first choice from an organization wide IT strategy. Is that the reason why you are migrating to cloud? Or is it cost considerations? Or is it for time to market reasons? Once we have made up our minds for cloud migration, the next step is to finalize the approach. There will always be time pressures as well as push to retain the status quo. This is where we need to be extremely careful articulating to our stakeholders the pitfalls of hurried lift and shift cloud migrations. The lift and shift approaches potentially um, might lead to security issues as well as non delivery of business benefits. The other aspects are around kind of data that gets into the cloud. The business and regulatory impact of data breaches and fallback approach need to be in place ahead of making cloud migration decisions. At the same time, hosting on a company owned data center doesn't guarantee 100% security. Due to economies of scale, cloud platforms generally have high availability of fault tolerant setups to take care of adverse events, while replicating cloud platform style redundancy could be extremely costly on company owned data centers. In summary, it is not a simple yes or no answer to the question whether cloud is secure or your company owned data center. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.